Welcome everyone on MyTyme. This is NHL Supercard, and today we are going to be looking at Road to the Stanley Cup. Now, I've played a few games and I am in the legendary, come on, load us please, yeah, there we go, legendary Corey Perry. So, what is the point of this video? Well, hopefully this video is going to show you how you can maybe eke out a few extra points when you're technically playing games that maybe you would lose if you try to play your best cards all the time. Now, just to show the lineup that I use at the moment, it's not ideal because I don't have enough good cards. Most of my cards are epic pros, so I don't have like legendary pro, star pros and that, so I can't show you exactly what I would be doing. But the idea is similar to this. If you look at the first defensive position, I have 3 weak players in here, and then I also obviously have a weak player in the right wing position, and I have players in position in the centre and in one of the defence positions and in the left wing. So the idea is to have 2 or 3 strong positions and then 2 positions where the weaker cards go in. So for example, one thing that I could do is I could move my Johansson here, who's not quite fully. Oh, he's sorry, Gallagher. Sorry. Where's my Johansson? Oh, he's down here. Okay, yeah. So Marcus Johansson's in position, and one thing that I could do is bring Brendan Gallagher out of position and strengthen up the left wing position here. He won't get the boost, but you know that's not the end of the world. I haven't really got anyone else. I don't have any other epic pros anywhere that would really move, so just for the sake of that little boost, I'm going to keep it as it is. But if it was a slightly bigger differential, then yes, I would have made that maneuver. So that's the idea. Okay, so I've got a bad position, 2 reasonably strong positions, a third reasonably strong position, and another one which technically isn't as good. So the idea is that when we play games, I'm going to use that to my advantage. So I'm now about 30 odd points into this, I think it was. 38 points. We're going to try and play hard, and that's legendary plus I think I'm up against. Okay, so I'm going to talk through in these 1 or 2 games what the strategy is. Bear in mind I could lose. We're going to hope we don't lose, but the idea, I don't know why it's taking so long. The idea is to strategically pick my players so I win the game overall. Okay, so bearing in mind that the computer is very likely to use one of its strongest cards first, I'm going to throw my weakest card. So I'm going to come to the first defense position and throw out whoever's in there because this is my weakest position overall. So out comes this. We've got a pro John Scott there. So I was going to lose that, wasn't I? Yeah. So we lose the first game, no problems. Now we use my goalie. Look at my goalie. It's Felix Potvin. He's not fully leveled up. He's a pro. He's not fully leveled up. So I'm going to assume I'm going to lose this match as well. Stick handling. I will use my support. If you notice, both my supports are team. I really recommend in Road to the Stanley Cup that you use team supports because they obviously have a chance of being used in more than one game. And unless say your supports are all ultra rares and you've got one really good star support or something which isn't team, maybe put that in. Otherwise, go for your team supports. So now I'm going to use one of my other weaker players because I'm not confident I'm going to win this game. So I'm happy to lose 2 of the games basically in each period. So we're going to throw out our left wing, and this would have been a loss even if I used my best card. So look, there's been a pro Patrick Kane legendary and a pro John Scott star, and I'm in this legendary plus tier. Now I need to win 2 games, so we're going to use the best 2 cards we've got left to win this period, which is going to be comfortable. And as you can see here, there is an ultra rare, which means that this last match is going to be really easy. It's going to be, there you go, sorry, not ultra rare, I meant rare. So 2-all from the first game, and we're going to use exactly the same strategy in the next period. So what comes up first? 2 skaters. Okay, what's my goalie like? He's okay. Not too bad a selection here. So I'm going to use my 2 weakest cards. I probably should use my support as well, but we lose this. Now we saw that there was 1 pro and 1 non-pro, so we're coming up against the goalie. Now, the goalie could be anything. Although in this tier, unlikely to be better than an Epic Pro. So let's use one of my better cards. Out comes Doug Gilmour, solo legendary. We're going to get the win here. Choose a skater. Now we just saw the pros come out, the pro legendary and the single legendary, so this should be fine to win from here. Sami Vatanen, which hasn't had any enhancements put in because he's only got one slot, so I haven't bothered at the moment. That's a win. And now hopefully I should also win this goalie match as well against the two outfield players, because we've seen that they shouldn't have any more Epic Pros or anything left. There you go. So we win 3 out of the 4 games in that period. And is it 3 out of 4? 2, yeah. Playmaking, same again. First up, very likely the best card in the opponent's hand is going to come out. So let's put my weakest card out, which is either of these two. Doesn't make much difference. We go to that fence position, bang. Pro Luke Robitaille. Apparently I've been told, thank you Dan Leary, that his name is Luke Robitaille. Or that's how you would pronounce it. So, okay, we've just had one pro. Now, because I only have to win overall or draw, you don't have to win. You can say finish 6-all when you get the points. I'm not too sure if they might have more pros, so I'm going to throw out my next weakest card. Okay, here you go. It was a solo star, which would have beat all my cards at the moment. 2 skaters. Now, I have to win this, and because I'm fairly confident a lot of the good cards are gone, I'm going to use my best card and then my worst remaining card to get me the victory. And 6-5 up means it doesn't matter what happens in this last game with the goalie. Even if I lose at 6-all, I still get the points, but this will be a win as well. So there we go. Now my opponent had better cards than me. If I had played with my best cards in each period versus his best cards, I probably would have lost that I probably lost 7-5, I think, because I at no stage could beat his best card in any of the periods. And obviously the only reason I've won is because I've tactically tried to beat the games towards the end of the period, and that's a strategy you want to try and adopt. Now let me click another game night and try again. Obviously you don't know what cards are going to be picked for, but by loading up certain positions with your strongest cards, it means you've got a chance of having one of those 5 cards or those 4 cards come out in the game. Obviously the goalies you can't change. So here, if the goalie's called first, I pick a goalie, I pick my weakest card I've possibly got. Try and get rid of 2 strong cards here. So it's an Epic Pro and a Legendary Pro. So I'm going to assume now in 2 skaters, one's a goalie, one's an outfield. I'm going to assume the outfield player is probably an Epic Pro or a Legendary Solo, and the goalie is probably around the same Epic Pro or Legendary Solo. It's stick handling. Let's use my stick handling perk. We're going to go for the 1-all games for my 2 best cards. And okay, the goalie is the Ultra Corey Crawford and David Perron Epic Pro. So that gives me some semi-confidence now that this is going to be Legendary Pro versus Legendary Solo versus Legendary Solo. So who's my best for the situation? We'll come here. Okay, yep, it was. The boost will help. And now for the last match, it'll be the same again. Worst case scenario for me is going to be Legendary Solos. Hopefully this will just be like an Epic Solo and Ultra Rare Pro. Okay, there we go. So we take that first period 3-1. Good. Next period, we've got a really weak card out. So same again, goalie and our weakest card. We'll lose this. See 2 outfield players come. 2 Epic Pros. That's good. So now if it's a solo match, my John Scott's definitely going to win here. Unless the goalie's a Legendary Pro. I'm going to think it's not. So the outfield player, best that's going to be is an Epic Pro. So I don't even need to use John Scott. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use John Scott. And not my best card, but just in case there's some shenanigans going on, as you see here, close to some shenanigans. Guarantee yourself to win. We'll then use our best card for here, and we were going to lose there by the pot, and focus should hopefully be a victory. No, we'll lose again. Okay, so there you go. Some shenanigans coming to mess us up. Should have probably kept John Scott back for a single match, but I thought the last 2 might have been a pair again. So no problems. Skating up. Weakest card out first. Luke Robitaille there. 2 skaters. Now I could really do with winning this. However, I know that the goalie match is a 2-player match, and I also know that I'm using 2 people here. So I know I've got a 2-player match, a goalie, and everything, and 1. So I've got 3 games left, and I can win at 6-all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the option to use my 2 weaker people here and throw this match away, or potentially throw it away if they had strong cards. And then I was going to keep my stronger cards to try and win the last 2 games. So if I had have lost that previous game, I'd have won this one, and hopefully I'd win the single match at the end, and it would have been 6-all. So there was theory behind there. At 6-all, you still get the victory, and you still get the 8 picks, the 14 points, or 7 points depending. So good there. Another win. I'm only going to do 1 more of these. I think you'll get the idea. I'm very close, as you can see now, very close to having to drop down to the 5 or the +5s or +10s if you're using bouts, because a hot streak, should I say, because this is 7-5 is, I'm teetering on, you know, that stage where I'm going to be losing them, so might get to 100 points. If I'm lucky, I'll get to 100 points, and I think I have to drop to +5s to probably finish off legendary. As long as I can get to the end of legendary in +5s, then I have to do +2s or +4s with titles through the star. Have no problem. I should at least get 1 of those star cards. I'm going to try and get both of them. But here, now this is a time where this is a bad situation for me. It's a bad situation tactic, because I'm using one of my better goalies, and do I take the risk to try and take the first game because I have a half decent goalie, or do I just throw away? Well, I'm going to throw away because there's a very good chance you're going to get a legendary pro up here. There you go. So the temptation there to even try and take that first game should always be avoided. Okay, don't give in to the temptation. The first 2 games, if you're unsure, throw away. Now, because this is against a goalie, I'm going to go for the victory. So I'm going to throw in John Scott, just in case it's a pro or anything. Okay, if I'd have gone from any of my other cards in focus, I would have lost. So, good decision there. Now, the last match is going to be a tag. So, we'll throw out the stick handling. We'll throw out one of our weaker cards. And then try and make sure we win the tag, which we will. Oh, not the best stat skating. Damn it. Okay, that was stats ruined us there. I needed anything else apart from skating. So now we're 3-1 down. So single, we have to throw out the weakest card again. Same play as usual. Epic Pro means we're not going to get a better card than Epic Pros out. 2 skaters and a goalie. Okay, so we're going to take a slight risk here. We're going to use Playmaking's 8-11, which is pretty decent. Also going to take out 1 of the legendary cards, because that should be enough to take. Okay, it's a Corey Crawford Pro. That wasn't planned for. We got lucky to win that. Playmaking. Don't want to go behind, so I'm going to have to go here and try and take the victory. Just about. Lucky with the stats there, so 4-3. And finally, we have no choice. Just got to pray that it's ultra rare and something else. Get ultra rare and epic. That's back to 4-all. So a little bit lucky there. A little bit lucky that the stats in that period came in our favour. Now, same again, weakest card out first. We're not going to try and contest. This is a good sign. Single legendary means that I should be able to sweep the rest of these games pretty much. So 2 skaters. So we're going to keep Doug Gilmore, because he's quite well balanced all around. So we're going to keep him. We're going to use Seabrook and Johansson to win this game. Then when the goalie comes out, we're against the goalie. So just in case it's a pro, we're going to throw in the weakest card. Okay, see? There we go. So I can win the last match against 2 outfield players that I know are not going to be epic pros. So this is a guaranteed win as well. Okay, so we draw 6-all in the end, but we get the points. Now, I don't think I am going to play another game because I'm very, very close to losing, as you can probably tell. So we're not going to push it too much on camera. I think we'll take it there. Let me see if we get anything decent. Still no legendary pools. Yep, and there we go. Ryan Ellis rare to finish that. But that's the theory, guys. So I'm almost, probably after these 2 bouts, I will guessing that +7s will be a thing of the past. But if I look at Ryan Getzlaf both times, let's just say that's 900 points for simplicity. Even if I have to do that all +2, that would be 450. If I'm doing it at +4 with the bouts, which I have, at 225 games, it's a lot. Especially when I can't play much Sundays. So it's going to depend how we go really with Corey Perry. If I can keep the +10s up for quite a while and get through him and that, we'll try and get one of the Getzlafs done. Maybe, I don't know if I'm going to get two, to be honest with you. I don't think I can get two without purchasing game nights. I don't particularly want to do that. It'd be great to get him. I just don't think I'm quite going to be able to. But we will see. I'm going to try. I will try, people. I will try. I want to at least try and get the one card, the 1-star card, to add to my John Scott, which will also then give me a really good chance of being pushed up to that star tier, especially once I get that Luke Robitaille, who is, 397 games away. So I've been MyTyme. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know how you're going in Road to the Championship. If you think there's something I can do to tweak my team, or you have another tip or anything to help me, especially when I start to get to the grindier games, then please let me know, because if I can guarantee myself more wins at the higher levels or at the higher games that I'm in the +5s and +7s, then hey, I'm great. It means less time I've got to spend playing the events. So look forward to hearing from your tips. Apart from that, thank you for watching as ever. I'll probably see you all at the end of the event. Hopefully during that time I'll get a legendary pull. I haven't had one for ages and I'll have that to report. If not, then at least hopefully I'll have a star card. So thank you guys, and I'm going to see you all very soon.